What is up, everybody? Davey DeBucha back at it again. And last night I saw Avengers Endgame, and oh my goodness, that that was a great movie. I mean, so much happened. Like there were changes. Well, if you haven't seen the movie, I would click off this video right now because I'm gonna talk about the whole movie. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so if you haven't seen it yet, just click off this video right now. Alright, so in the beginning, they show Hawkeye with his family. He's teaching his daughter how to shoot an arrow, and the whole family they turn to dust from the snap, and then yeah, then yeah we show and then we see Nebula and Tony on the Guardians of the Galaxy ship as they were about to run out of oxygen, just like in the trailer. Well, I'm sorry, I keep looking at something. There is a hecking spider in on my wall. I'll get it later. Anyways, I apologize about that. Anyways, yeah, that's what I kept looking. I thought it looked like there was a spider or something. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, he sends a message to Pepper because he thinks he might not make it. But then, like, not long after he sends that message, we see Captain Marvel shows up, and takes him back to Earth. And they take him back, and where Captain America, where Black Widow, and where Rocket Raccoon is, and I believe oh yeah, and War Machine, when they were all at the Avengers headquarters, and yeah, he ends up making it. He sees Pepper again. Pepper was there, and then and yeah, they locate Thanos. He's in his own farm, his own garden. He's retired after after the snap, because that was his goal. Is just to wipe out 50% of all living things. And after he did that, he just retired. His job was done. So he was just in a farm somewhere, in some planet, I believe. And the Avengers, they all locate him because apparently he used the stones again. And well, it looks like he destroyed them because once they got to where Thanos was, the stones were not on the gauntlet. And Thanos just said the stones were destroyed as as when he snapped his fingers. So yeah, and then he said, yeah, that snapped. He said it nearly killed him. And then after that, Thor just freaking chopped his head off with the Stormbreaker. And they were all like, "Oh, what'd you do?" And then Thor was just like, I went for the head this time, which I thought was kind of funny. Then like yeah, then they and then we get to 5 years later, and the Hulk he's in well Bruce Banner he's like in the Hulk, but he can talk like a normal person, which was actually not I was actually not one of the things I wasn't expecting. And another thing was they showed Thor, and he was like he usually he's all abs, like with six pack and everything, but now he's like really chubby, and he just drinks a lot of beer, I believe. He's got like a really big beer belly, and Korg and Meek from Ragnarok are just there chilling playing Fortnite, and I don't know. I thought that scene was pretty funny, but yeah, I guess after failing S, he lost his confidence, so maybe that's what happened. And yeah, he grew really long hair and a big beard. Like he didn't have that short hair anymore like he did in Infinity War. So yeah, that's where Thor was. It's like in this little, I guess it's this little village area. I guess was the new Asgard. It didn't seem much comparing to the old one, but yeah, that's what happened. And then and then that van with where Ant-Man was stuck in the quantum realm. Well, apparently some rat, like some mouse, just like I don't know, is just like climbing onto like I guess whatever he used to send him back from the quantum realm, and I guess the mouse did something and he's back 5 years later because they all thought he turned to dust because there is this area like memorial area of all the people who vanished from the snap, and his name showed up, Scott Lang, which wasn't true. He actually survived the snap because he was stuck in the quantum realm. But Hope, the, yeah, the Wasp, and her her parents, they all turned to dust. If you haven't seen Ant-Man and Wasp yet, go watch that. And then so yeah, he comes to the Avengers headquarters, and then yeah, Black Widow, she's growing back, getting that red hair back, and he says they can they can get the people back that they lost from the snap by using time travel with like the quantum realm, like traveling through time basically. Because when he came back, it seemed like it's for him. It seemed like 5 hours when it was actually like been. It's actually been like 5 years later. So yeah, they show Stark. He has a daughter now, married to Pepper, and they're all big. At first, he didn't want to do it because he has like a wife and a kid now, and he just I don't know, he just didn't want to go with him. Excuse me. so so they're like, oh, okay, whatever. Because like he was thinking like So obviously, we're gonna try and save the universe by like being like in Back to the Future, which in a way it kind of was, but how it ended, like I was confused. Anyways, yeah, they go back in time to where to get all the Infinity Stones before Thanos got to them. Like they went back to Vormir, Hawkeye and Black Widow. They went back to Vormir to get the Soul Stone, and now this I was not expecting at all. So to get the Soul Stone, you have to lose someone that you love. Well, apparently, Hawkeye and Black Widow they were both fighting for who should make the sacrifice, and Hawkeye was about to fall. Black Widow caught him, and Black Widow was holding on, and she was about to fall. And then Black Widow just said, "Let me go. It'll be okay." And then Black Widow let go, and then she fell to her death. She just died, just like that. Which that was probably one of the most sad parts of the movie. Was that that was unexpected. And then I forget the name of the other planet. It's where the Power Stone was, where they went back in 2014, where Star-Lord was from the first Guardians. He was in the beginning, like he was listening to "Come and Get Your Love," that song. Well, they went back to that time. War Machine and Nebula, I think. Yeah, it was him and Nebula. War Machine just like knocked him out, and then they both just got the Power Stone. Well, then Nebula, something like happens with her eye, like she's not feeling well, and apparently the present Nebula has like memories from the future, to where from the past the past Nebula was able to get that information, and they showed it on a thing in Thanos' ship. Like Thanos just saw, like the Thanos from the past just saw like the future, like and that says that he won, that he got all the stones and snapped his fingers. So then Nebula then knows that Thanos knows what's going on now. So then yeah, like they just the past the past Nebula, like she does something later in the movie, like I'll explain later. But and then yeah. And then Iron Man, well, Tony and Ant-Man, they go to retrieve the Space Stone, and they went back to 2012 when the first Avengers came out, where they went back to that battle in New York between like Thanos's like army, just his army, like not Thanos. Like you've all probably seen the first Avengers, but for some of you who haven't seen the first Avengers, just saying. And they showed the part where all the Avengers are assembled from the first film. Then, oh yeah, the Hulk, he was there. I remember. And then the Hulk goes to get the Time Stone from the Ancient One, while Tony and Scott are going to get the Space Stone from the Tesseract. Well, Banner, the Hulk, tells the Ancient One why he needs the no, Space Stone, Time Stone. Why he needs the Time Stone? Because basically he just tells her that Doctor Strange gives Thanos the Time Stone and Titan from Infinity War, and and she and she had that shocked look on her face, and just immediately gave Banner the Time Stone. So yeah, they got the Time Stone, and they got the Soul Stone. Well, then and then Captain America, he's going for the Mind Stone, which was from Loki's staff, and he does end up getting it. He puts it in like a briefcase or something, and he sees his other self, and the Captain America from the past thinks that he is Loki in disguise, but actually he's just the Captain America from the present, from 2019. But the Captain America from the past obviously doesn't believe him, so they get in a fight. But until the present Captain tells the past Captain that Bucky is still alive, and I guess he had this really shocked look on his face that I guess he just passed out or something, and he was just lying there, and then Captain said, "Now that's America's butt." Yeah, they actually got, yeah, this movie, it does make you laugh and cry. I'll say that, but well, I didn't cry, but I almost did. Like later in the movie, I'll keep explaining or reviewing is what this video is. So then, as Stark and Ant-Man are trying to get the Space Stone, well, Ant-Man goes into Tony from the past, and he like unplugs. I guess it's a circuit or something that turns off the the chest plate thing he has. Well, then he's like, well, he needs that to live, and as soon as he takes it off, start from the past is just strongly like, oh no, I mean, So yeah, and then he drops the Tesseract right in front of Loki, and Loki just grabs the Tesseract and then just teleports somewhere, which was a big mistake. I my first thought was like, oh shoot, But after making that mistake, they had to even go further back in time, and they went back to when Captain America first before he was frozen for 70 years. They went back I believe it was the 1950s. Captain America and Iron Man, they both went back to that time to try and get the Space Stone again. And Captain, he sees his girl Peggy, and then well, he finds the space stone, the Tesseract, but then he sees his dad, and just has a conversation with him, and little does his dad know that he had the Tesseract inside of a briefcase. But they had a conversation, and he asked Tony what his name was. He just used to obviously had to use the disguise name. He just told him that he was Howard Potts, and his dad's name was Howard Stark. So yeah, they have a conversation, and then yeah, they get the space stone, and then they go back to the present, and then and then Thor and Rocket Raccoon go to get the reality stone from, like, they went back to 2013 in Asgard when the Dark World happened, like, the Dark Elves. Thor sees his mom again and gets really emotional. But then Rocket Raccoon receives the reality stone. Like, she got all that. I mean, he, like, got all that, like, the ether is what it used to be called. Like, it was, like, inside of Jane Foster, Natalie Portman. Got all that off and got it in, like, I guess it was like a little tube thing. So yeah, now they got all the Infinity Stones, and they make their own Infinity Gauntlet. And the Hulk, he puts on the gauntlet with all 6 stones, and I mean this is so powerful that, like, you could see, like, his whole arm was just, like, burning. It was, like, really getting damaged after getting that gauntlet on. Like, that really does something to you. But yeah, they closed all the windows and doors and everything. And then the Hulk Banner, he just snaps his fingers, and they think everything is fine. Now that they snap the fingers, which means the stones are destroyed, therefore meaning that Thanos' snap never happened. So they think they did. Yeah, obviously they think they did it. Well, the Thanos from 2014 comes to the present time, and obviously past Nebula while the Hulk did the snap with the doors and everything closed. The past Nebula had the time, I don't know, their time machine thing of, like, the quantum realm or whatever, and she used that to bring Thanos' ship to the present time and the whole army. So when they think everything's fine, Thanos' ship just completely destroys the whole Avengers headquarters. Like, literally everything is, like, completely destroyed. So then, yeah, Thanos, he shows up, like, he gets beamed down, and he shows up, and Thor, he has the old hammer, the Mjolnir, or whatever it's called, and the Stormbreaker. He uses both weapons. And then Captain America, he's got a shield. Iron Man, he's got the his armor, and Hawkeye runs off with the gauntlet that they made. The Avengers their own gauntlet. Because apparently the stones were not destroyed or something. So they had to keep it away from Thanos. So yeah, then obviously Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, they all start fighting Thanos. And of course, like, Thor, he almost gets stabbed because with the Stormbreaker after Thanos grabs in, he's just trying to stab, just stab through his chest. But then, now this is one of the most shocking parts of the movie, in my opinion. He gets his old hammer just starts flying, and Captain America has the hammer. Like, he is literally wielding. He's literally picking up the hammer. Now, I was actually confused about this because, I don't know how he got worthy to hold the hammer, but I thought that was pretty awesome. So he uses both his shield and the hammer to go after Thanos. And this is when it gets really, really epic. Just all the action. And then Captain, he gets a message. Apparently, Falcon is speaking to him. And remember, Falcon dusted in Infinity War, and you see all these warps of what Doctor Strange does, the warp thing, all those circles, and here comes everybody who didn't survive the snap. They've all came back. And then Thanos, he brings his whole army, including himself. So it is every Avenger, well, except Vision, he wasn't there, and Quicksilver, he wasn't there, but literally every Avenger was there, and the whole army of Thanos is on the other side. And then Captain says, "Avengers, assemble!" And they all go to battle. This was amazing. And then, yeah, they're still trying to get, and they're still trying to keep that gauntlet that the Hulk snapped earlier. And, well, apparently somehow Thanos gets it, but yeah, and his whole ship gets freaking destroyed by Captain Marvel. But then, somehow, yeah, Thanos, he gets the gauntlet that they made, and, they didn't show. Well, Thanos, he snaps his fingers again. Nothing happens, and he checks. All the stones are gone. And Iron Man, he has all 6. And then this was probably one of my favorite moments of the whole movie. Probably, honestly, my favorite moment ever. Iron Man has all 6 stones, and he says, "I am Iron Man." Snap. And all of Thanos' army just turns to dust. Literally every one of them. And then Thanos turns to dust. And that snap was so powerful that it killed Iron Man. So they had the funeral for him, and all the Avengers showed up to his funeral, and then yeah, Captain America, he goes back in time to before he was frozen for all those years to live his life like from that period of time. Because you see, he goes back in time. I don't know what. I'm not sure. I forget why he went back in time, but yeah, after we went back in time, he didn't come back, and then after that, like they all see him over there, and he's an old man. He's lived his life with his girl from that time, which I thought was really nice way to end Captain America. And then the last scene in the movie, they Captain America finally dances with Peggy, and that was it. That spider just disappeared. And that was probably stupid of me to let it go like that. Now it's probably going to crawl all around the house and probably bug me one day. Or just annoy me. Whatever. But yeah, there was no post-credit scenes. That was just it. But, man. Definitely I am going to see this again in theaters. Probably, like, without a doubt, one of my favorite, like, probably top 3 Marvel movies of all time. Like, man. I did almost cry. I'll admit that. Like, a lot of people though came out with tears in their eyes. Like, this is probably the last Avengers, and it's, yeah. You know, there's some great, probably the greatest saga ever. Probably one of the greatest. So yeah, you already know I'm definitely going to get it on DVD when it comes out. But yeah, it took me a while to process like all that just happened, but yeah, I guess that's it for. Well, I guess that's about it for the MCU. I know. Well, there's some MCU movies coming out, but like the main MCU with like the main 6 Avengers, like I guess that part is like it's all over now. But they got other MCU movies, like they got Spider-Man: Far From Home. I guess they're making another Black Panther, another Doctor Strange movie. I think there was going to be a Black Widow movie. If it's a Black Widow movie, it's probably something like before all this took place because she died in the movie. We'll have to find out. But yeah, that's my review of Avengers Endgame. I did bring that with me. And trust me, it was my friend's idea. Yeah, that is a real Infinity War. Obviously, I still need to make a review on this bad boy, but I will soon. Yeah, that's been David the Butcher. Tell me what you thought of the movie. I thought it was a 10 out of 10 movie. It was great. I loved it. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Till then, I get too sweet. Woo! Alright, see you guys.